So very good morning and welcome back to the channel, where this morning you find me having a little bit of a reconnoitre, a little bit of an explore, a bimble around this area which I've not visited before, just found it on Google Maps. Beautiful start to the day with some lovely colours in the sky, and we've got this low hanging mist over the water which is looking very ethereal, magical and mystical. I thought today I'd take the opportunity to talk about and have a discussion about embracing your local area for your landscape photography. So for this first shot I've had a wander around to this end of the water so that I'm shooting into the rising sun, with the sunbeams bursting through the trees, illuminating the scene. Got some lovely low-hanging mist over the water and makes for quite a tranquil scene. So I've got my 24 to 70 lens on, shooting wide open at 24 to capture that wide vista. Settings wise, aperture is f22 to capture that sunburst effect. So as I mentioned earlier, I thought today'd be a great opportunity to have a chat about embracing your local area for landscape photography. And for me, I think this journey starts back in COVID times, back in 2020, when here in the UK for a period of time we were restricted to just travelling within your local area. And for me, that provided a great opportunity, a great challenge to seek out compositions in my local area. So I love getting out into the national parks, the Lake District, Snowdonia, the Peak District, but those areas were, whilst relatively local to me, not within a commutable distance during that local lockdown period. So for me, it was all about jumping onto OS Maps, using Google Maps to find new locations to visit, seeking out new compositions, still maintaining my interest and my hobby of photography and shooting and practicing. And I'll show you those images now that I captured during that lockdown period, and my first real venture into looking into the intimate local landscapes that perhaps ordinarily I wouldn't have done. So I'm liking this scene here with the path meandering through the image, the sunlight, shafts of sunlight coming in from the left hand side through the trees, creating some nice light and shadow, some nice contrast, still a bit of mist there lingering in the background. I'm going to bracket the shot, my ISO 100, f16, like I said, bracket the shot, get a couple of images, merge those together in post, and see what that one comes out like. Oh, this lovely silver birch tree here, which is acting as a great seat. Yeah, so it was a great opportunity. Lockdown, being able to get out into the local landscape to explore potential new compositions, and whilst they're not world beaters, I'm really pleased with those images, and many of those images I've actually printed and got up on my wall at home. The challenge of exploring the local landscape, embracing your landscape photography within your local area was a fantastic challenge, a great opportunity, really enjoyed it. And it gave me that ability to get out with a camera, to still practice my photography and still capture some good images along the way. So fast forward to 2023 and we face a number of different challenges that we did back in COVID times, with the rising prices of household goods, electric, gas, fuel especially, which is probably 150, 60, 70% of the cost that it was then, means that travel to the national parks and to those honeypot locations, I guess, is so much more prohibitive. So for me, I'm continuing with my landscape photography much more on a local basis. So for me, one of the benefits of shooting locally is the opportunity to revisit and return to those spots, because they're right on your doorstep. They're a mile or two away, they're easy to get to, it doesn't cost much. You don't have to get up at the crack of dawn to be able to visit those locations and travel miles and miles to reach your destination. Now, last week's video was all about revisiting and returning to local landscape locations, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it at the end. So another great advantage of shooting your local area for landscape photography is the ability to scout out locations. So just having a wander around these woods here, and look at all the bluebells that are going to be out in bloom soon, so potentially a great spot to come back to get some bluebell shots later in the season. So when scouting, one of the things that I like to do is just get the old iPhone out, capture some of these potential compositions, and I've got my location services turned on so that these images are geotagged and I can easily find those spots to come back to return to when the conditions are right, when the bluebells are in bloom. So of course, a huge benefit of embracing the local area and shooting your landscape photography locally is a time saving. I was up at 20 to 6 this morning. I was taking my first image at 10 past 6 this morning. It's all about being able to get out of bed at a reasonable time and get down to your location and start taking photographs without having to drive for hours, without having to get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I've travelled 1.5 miles, so I've used very, very little fuel, and so it's not cost me anything to come out this morning other than my own time, effort and energy. So it's been great to have a little wander around this area this morning, to have a little bit of an explore. Certainly a spot I can come back to for the bluebell shots, which was an amazing find this morning. The carpet of green everywhere, and I'm sure that will be mirrored in a carpet of blue later on in the season. But for me, it's been great to have a chat with you guys all about exploring and embracing your local area for landscape photography, and I'd love to hear your comments below. So thanks very much for watching. As always, it's been great to have you along for the trip. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, take care, be good, look after yourselves, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.